Yo, what the hell's up? Welcome back to Reviews with Jake, where I just got done watching Frankenstein. Give me damn near 2 full review list months and the new setup at the new house is, well, dare I say, it's alive. And while no, there wasn't really any titles released since The Long Walk that has really been calling me to get back to it, all the same, 2 months feels like too long of an absence and I feel really bad about that, despite how busy I truly have been. I'm really hoping I'll be able to cram a couple extra titles in to finish up the year here, especially some titles that are now streaming that I missed from previously in the year, so be on the lookout for those if I can play my cards right. But in the meantime, I was really stoked that the new setup would be debuted on a title that I was really excited about seeing, and Guillermo Del Toro's Frankenstein was just that. I mean, can you imagine a more fitting person to handle and adapt this tale than Guillermo? I mean, I can't. And the pros start and shine right there. This film is helmed masterfully from one of the best directors of our time. I mean, this film is pristinely made. Let's start with the production design. This film is set in a very immersive, beautiful world, and all of the sets, the costumes, the props, even the coffins are all unlike anything you will see in this world that we live in now, and it's all so intricately designed. Pair this with the trademark Del Toro color pops, very vibrant hues, along with some very creative and beautiful lighting work. It's no wonder that this film featured a lot more wide-angle lenses than I think I've ever seen Guillermo Del Toro use, because I don't blame him for wanting to get as much of this beautiful going on in the frame as possible. We also have to talk about the prosthetics. I think this is the most Frankenstein movie that I've ever seen a Frankenstein movie be. I think we all take for granted the reality and the disgustingness that is the story of Frankenstein, a monster that was created with various human parts of different human beings after they've died. I mean, that's disgusting. We always overlook that, but this movie really lingers on that. It is disgusting. It is just brutal, and I don't think I've ever seen an adaptation kind of take that reality and really blow it up to 11. And while you're experiencing this brutal and grim tale, you'd expect the score for it to be a lot more brooding and dark, wouldn't you think? Not necessarily. This film has a very whimsical and waltzy score, and you'd think that that would clash tonally to what you're seeing visually, but it really doesn't, and it actually really works. However, that said, this is not a perfect film. It has some drawbacks that come from mostly from contrast to some of the pros. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. For starters, while this film looks beautiful and stunning, there are moments where the VFX just kind of took me out of it. From the CGI, especially involving any animal, just didn't really look good. And some of the rendered backgrounds also, while it did look beautiful and what you're seeing is great, it also just looked a little too clean. It's kind of like comparing The Lord of the Rings to The Hobbit. The Hobbit lacks that authenticity that The Lord of the Rings had because a lot of these beautiful backgrounds were fake. They were fabricated in front of a green screen. They were rendered backgrounds. That's kind of what this film felt like when you compare it to the authenticity and the beautiful set designs for the interiors. You step outside and some of these wide shots for the exteriors just felt too clean. It just felt fake in comparison to the beautiful things happening indoors. Kind of on a similar duality note, while I loved the prosthetics and they were so well done and it was brutal, I was kind of hoping some of that brutality was going to carry over after we have our monster walking around in this world and he starts to encounter baddies. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple brutal kills that I was looking for here, but a lot of the times the monster would just kind of toss people. That's all he kind of had. And for a movie that kind of set the tone for being so brutal while we're creating the creature, I was kind of hoping that would carry over a little bit more, but it just kind of felt like he was just hucking people. And I get it, this isn't meant to be a monster movie per se that hangs its hat on the kills. It's supposed to hang its hat on the story, but that actually does take me to my final qualms with this film, and that is indeed the story as well as its characters and relationships. While I will always applaud Del Toro in his ability to create beautiful, immersive worlds like this one, I've never really been blown away consistently by his ability to write compelling characters and stories. It happened a couple times. You got The Shape of Water and Pan's Labyrinth. Those are exceptions, but a lot of the times I just don't really think he's as strong of a writer as he is a director, in all honesty. A lot of this film's success hinges upon the character development and the relationship work that it builds over its 2.5-hour runtime, and it gives it plenty of time to do that, but ultimately I didn't think that it ended up cultivating to what it was supposed to do. Yes, the creature character was sympathetic, but that's about as far as it goes. I didn't care about Victor. I didn't care about his backstory, his relationship to his father, mother, brother. I didn't care about Elizabeth. I didn't care about Elizabeth's relationship to the creature. I didn't care about their uncle. I didn't really care about any of it. This film kind of reminds me a lot of Crimson Peak, both very beautiful, breathtaking, immersive worlds, technically awesome films with an all-star cast that acts their asses off. But why doesn't it work? I can never really put my finger on why, but it just kind of feels like the story is just good enough. It's serviceable to get us to the next beautiful set piece that Del Toro put together. And it's just kind of a bummer because serviceable just doesn't really feel like enough when you have a movie so masterfully made like Del Toro does. All in all though, despite its rather glaring shortcomings, I did overall enjoy this film and all of its blood, beauty, and milk. What was up with the milk? Is that just Guillermo Del Toro channeling his inner Pappy McPoyle again? Because if so, deep cuts, man. Deep cuts. But that is just me. What do you think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with new reviews coming real soon. Stay safe. Thanks for checking in.